We also have a number of judicial decisions on noise pollution, both from the Supreme Court of India as well as High Courts. I would like to draw your attention to a decision of the Supreme Court from the year 2005, and the name of the case is In Re Noise Pollution, Implementation of Laws for Restricting Use of Loudspeakers and High Volume Producing Sound Systems with Forum Prevention of Environment and Sound Pollution versus Union of India. The Supreme Court observed, and I quote, "Anyone who wishes to live with peace, comfort and quiet within his house has a right to prevent the noise as pollutant reaching him. No one can claim a right to create noise even in his own premises which would travel beyond his precinct and cause nuisance to neighbors and others. If anyone increases his volume of speech, and that too with the assistance of artificial devices, so as to compulsorily expose unwilling persons to hear a noise raised to unpleasant and obnoxious levels, then the person speaking is violating the right of others to a peaceful, comfortable and pollution-free life guaranteed by Article 21 of the Constitution of India." The Supreme Court then went on to issue a number of directions in this case. It first divided firecrackers into two categories, light emitting and sound emitting firecrackers. It then went on to impose a complete ban on bursting sound emitting firecrackers and the beating of drums or tom-toms or the flow of trumpet or the beat or sound of any instrument, the use of any sound amplifier between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., the period defined as night time. The Supreme Court also directed the state government to seize loudspeakers and amplifiers making noise beyond the permissible limit, to specify ambient air quality standards in different areas, as well as to add a chapter in textbooks regarding ill effects of noise pollution. Another important source of air pollution, which receives less attention sometimes, is cigarette smoking. There are two legislation which are relevant in this context. The first is the Cigarette and Other Tobacco Products Prohibition of Advertisement and Regulation of Trade and Commerce, Production, Supply and Distribution Act of 2003, and we have the more recent Prohibition of Smoking in Public Places rules of 2008. What this act and the rules do is prohibit smoking in public places and open places that are visited by the public. Both of these terms have been defined. The term public place is defined as a place where the public has access, and this includes workplaces, shopping malls and cinema halls. Open places have been defined to include open auditoriums, stadiums, railway stations and bus stops. However, certain areas have been exempted from the application of this act and the rules, and these include hotels with more than 30 rooms, restaurants with more than 30 seats and airports which are allowed to have a separate smoking area or space. More recently, specifically around Delhi, the problem of open burning of waste has presented itself in the context of burning of crops by farmers. This open burning of waste, particularly illegal burning of different types of waste, can be the burning of municipal solid waste, plastic waste, hospital waste, etc. Now, different types of waste are governed by different rules which have been framed by the Ministry of Environment and Forests in exercise of the power conferred on it by the Environment Protection Act 1986. For example, we have the municipal solid waste rules, we have the hazardous waste rules, etc. Insofar as plastic waste is concerned, there is the Plastic Waste Management and Handling Rules of 2011 which specifically prohibit open burning of plastic waste. Clearly, the provisions of these rules are being blatantly violated because there are many instances of plastic waste being burnt openly in cities and villages across the country. Recently, a petition has been filed alleging the illegal burning of plastic, rubber and related waste which releases deadly dioxins and furans in various villages in North and Northwest Delhi. After hearing this petition, the National Green Tribunal has imposed a nationwide ban on unregulated open burning of plastic, rubber or such other articles. Insofar as municipal solid waste is concerned, although the current municipal solid waste rules do not specifically prohibit open burning of waste, we do have the draft Municipal Solid Waste Management and Handling Rules 2013, which prohibit open burning of municipal solid waste. To summarize, the objective of this presentation on the module Laws Relating to Air Pollution was to familiarize you with the legal framework existing in India. As discussed, this comprises the Constitution of India, where although there is no specific provision, the Supreme Court of India has broadly interpreted Article 21 of the Constitution, which guarantees the fundamental right to life, to include the right to pollution-free air. We then went on to look at a specific legislation, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, and general legislation, the Environment Protection Act and the rules framed thereunder, both from the year 1986, which grant considerable powers to the Ministry of Environment and Forests in the case of the Environment Protection Act, and the State Pollution Control Board and the Central Pollution Control Board in the case of the Air Act, to lay down standards and rules for managing different kinds of sources of air pollution. We also discussed that the implementation of the Air Act has been more effective than that of the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, which has suffered from serious challenges. Further, we discuss some specific instances of air pollution, namely industrial pollution, vehicular pollution, noise pollution, pollution caused by cigarette smoking, as well as due to open burning of waste. The presentation drew your attention to an important case of the Supreme Court, the Taj Trapezium case, which concerned air pollution resulting in damage to the Taj Mahal in Agra, as a result of which the Supreme Court specifically applied the precautionary principle and held that the protection of human life and an important monument such as the Taj Mahal had to be given precedence over the industries operating in the area. In this case, the court firstly asked industries using coke or coal to switch to natural gas, and for industries that were unable to make the switch, they were asked to close and to relocate. This is a very important decision because it highlights an instance where the balancing between economic development and environmental protection was favoring the environment. Subsequent decisions have taken a different view of the idea of sustainable development, which has been discussed in the module on principles of environmental law. We concluded the presentation with a discussion on the open burning of waste, which presents a very serious problem in urban areas specifically, and more in rural areas as we see plastic waste being generated in larger quantities. Thank you.